We're going to do finance today. We're going to do really, really basic finance, but we're going to do a little bit of pretenders. Remember, I used to start. Um, this is a good one. You can do this every day. We'll talk about markets. There aren't any markets anymore, but pretend like there are. It's a nice opening line. This may become like the official Bruno Nooner theme song, sort of a spoof on Rush Limbaugh. Engine, good morning. Okay, so like literally in the middle of the night, some woman called me and said, "Is this Bruno?" And I said, "Yeah, it's James from Bruno." And I think she went through my DMs and found that I'd given my phone number to some people. And she's been contacted by somebody overseas who's, I've had this happen a couple times. We all have to decide, like, am I going to go to Austin and raise $10 million and you guys are out? Or do you guys want to be in? Like, it's time to anyways, she's talking to somebody overseas who she thought was me, and they're using AI to take my voice and like my theme songs and so forth. And she thought she's been talking to me like for the last 6 months. And something bad's going to happen. You know, I'm trying to do this decentralized thing where all of you are incorporated, and Americans just, it's like preaching a different religion. The Americans just don't know. Americans aren't really capable of taking care of themselves anymore. They either some corporation or some politician is going to make it all work. And so we're going to run the numbers here for a couple of minutes, and you're going to see it's not going to work. It's not going to work, people. Nice musical interlude. Okay, so here's the facts. Just get back to the basics of the stock market. This is not a recommendation of like what's going to happen or whatever. I just want you to know that there's $40 trillion invested. That's the market cap. That's the supposed valuation of the Nasdaq 100. There's 40 trillion. It's interesting. It's the same number as our national debt, the government's debt, the treasury debt. And I have to sign in here to pull this up. I'm going to actually show you. I posted it early this morning. Warren Buffett has 400 billion in U.S. Treasury bills. Bills are short-term bonds. They're like CDs from the government. Okay, and the 10-year is at 4.5%. The 30-year crossed 5%. I think it's still above 5%. And as the war, my theme to you always is, look at the war. Look what just happened over the weekend. Unbelievable. We did a deal. Nobody thought we could do the deal, but we've done the deal. The deal is the greatest deal ever done. And Iran said, actually, why don't you wire us $12 billion or go get fucked? That's Iran's response to big deal guy. I read the book, the art of the deal. The art, all his deal. Hold on. Let's just calm down for a minute. Have you ever thought, I mean, I just thought about this in the last couple of weeks. Have you ever thought about how does Trump constantly start businesses that fail? Right? Trump steak, Trump wine, Trump airlines. Now, his real estate always works, but all of his Trump University, all of these things always fail. And like, if he's making so much money in real estate, why does he keep doing? I mean, I guess the implication is he's so rich he just doesn't give a shit. But most rich people aren't like that. Not at all. Well, thank you. Really, I think you have to take into consideration maybe Trump is just a giant money launderer. Because that's one of the things you do. We know this from Breaking Bad and Ozark and other things, right? What did they do in Ozark? They went and got a big casino. If you want to launder money for the mob, you don't want to make money, because if you make money, then you have to pay taxes and you have to show where the money's from. What you're really trying to do is lose money. Trump's been losing money for 40 years. So who does he work for? He seems to have a never ending amount of money behind him. Okay. So that's the president of the United States. He just appointed a new Fed governor who's a hedge fund guy, speculator. They don't know how to build anything. They wouldn't know how to run a third-rate hotel. Besant, another hedge fund guy. All these speculators running the U.S. Treasury. Interesting. And the interest rates are going up like this, and we're bombing the place where all the fertilizer, natural gas, and oil comes from. You've heard this from me ad nauseum. I mean, like, you're probably sick of it. I am too. So, I mean, I saw this last week, and I couldn't even believe it. So, all the growth in the economy is coming from the AI build out, the hyperscaler build out. Basically, we buy gaming chips, real high end, high output, sort of like sports car engines, right? Like, people buy things, but everybody knows their sports car's engine is very fragile. Like a Formula One, I think a Formula One engine, when they're done with it, when they're done with the race, they just melt it down and start over. So we're going to put $1 trillion roughly in the over the last year and a half into these sports car engine gaming chips made by NVIDIA that will burn themselves up, just like a Formula One engine. Sort of weird, isn't it? Like, who's signing off on all this? Similar to Trump. You see where I'm going with this? And now the interest rates are creeping up, and interest rates aren't something that are like self-healing like oil prices. If oil prices go to $250 a barrel, people just go out and just drill everywhere. But the problem is with the Treasury, as the numbers are going in the wrong way, the numbers are getting worse and worse and worse and worse. All right, so again, I don't want to make predictions of the market. I don't, but just hear me out. Where do you see this chart? Okay. Okay. If you bought, let's say you're Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett doesn't own 10-year treasuries. He probably owns like 2-year treasuries. His average duration is like 16 months or something. T-bills, not T-bonds. And so if you put $400 billion into treasuries into the 10-year, you'd get 4.5%. If you'd put $400 billion into the Nasdaq, you'd get nothing. Except if you're a Warren Buffett, you're more interested in the earnings. The earnings are 2.66%. Just stare at that. And if your response is like, all the financial people in the country are like, well, it's the Fed's data dependent and blah blah blah, and we're going to have the 3 largest IPOs of all time, and but just to be clear, it's not a 2.67% dividend like would be deposited in your account and you could take the cash and go do something. This is just the cash going into the checking account of the companies themselves. I know it can't be true, Bruno. You make up a lot of shit. You did the Linda Finger thing, and you have some cool music and stuff. But there's no fucking way that that's true. That's what it is. That's the earnings yield of the Nasdaq. Hold on. Most of it comes from the big tech companies that Microsoft and Oracle and so on. All that money, all those earnings cash flow. There's a little bit of a difference between earnings and cash flow, but that's for another Guinness. All those earnings are going into those chips that are going to burn up. Hold on. I really wanted to walk you through this because even my own, I don't even know if I even want to talk about it. Like, what am I going to do? Like, stand outside of Wall Street, like John the Baptist screaming at Herod or something? Like, nobody gives a shit. No one's going to change anything of what they're doing. Okay. This is just how it works now. This is your 401k. Your 401k, all the growth is coming from companies that have an earnings yield of 2.67%. It's an unfathomable thing of how ridiculous it is. But here's what I really wanted to talk about. So there's 3 big IPOs going to happen that are over $1 trillion. They're at 100 times, each one of them is at 100 times revenue. What? I know. So do the math, do the 4th grade math, divide 1 by 100. It's 1%. So the revenue yield is 1%. Well, that can't be. It's Well, people, that's why they're only going to push out 6% of the shares. That's the Nasdaq right there. That's the stock market. And I don't know, you guys tell me, like, if you like these nooner things, like, because we could get in and out. We could do it like, I could get a lot because I can, keep it condensed for it. I could probably do these things in 12 minutes. We'd have like 90 seconds of intro and Pretenders music, other 80s music. And then we'd get into it and I'd give you like a couple big chunks of ideas. But again, I'm going back to this woman that called me in the middle of the night and there's a guy pretending to be me. And I've had this happen a couple times. There's a woman called from Oklahoma. She was trading crypto on Telegram with somebody named Bruno with all my, not paraphernalia, but all my branding. She lost $80,000. You all have to decide what you want to do here. You want me to go to Austin and just raise $20 million and just go do what I'm going to do? And like, you guys can be involved or not. I don't know. So I am going to Austin on flying in the 17th and we'll be there for several days. And I'm willing to have a partners meeting. Partners are people who have signed the documentation and wired the money. Okay. I don't want any more women calling me in the middle of the night. I'm not doing this anymore. Now, that whole thing is like Trump, is to make you think like Trump's this great deal guy. Trump's a reality TV star who's compromised 7 ways to Sunday by raping 13-year-old girls. What they don't ever want you to do is go, that's crazy. Why don't we invest that money in shit that we need? They don't ever want you to do that. Why wouldn't we like invest in like Black Angus cattle or something? No. There's growth. There's super wacko growth here. That's why you only need 2.7% earnings, because it's growing. So, that's it. That's all I have for you today. Do you like the Bruce? Do you like the Rush Limbaugh format? Probably going to do a couple more things on like Sunday, but all the tech is there, people. The blockchain AI thing is just sitting there waiting for people to use it. This is crazy. This is happy talk. This isn't even the future of AI. Gaming chips in the desert is not the future of AI. They're going to burn up. Did you see the video of the hold on a minute. Did you see the video of the Rio Grande? And like, it's still spring, right? There's no fucking water in it because it's going to cool down the gaming chips from NVIDIA. It's just like the Roman Empire. It's just insane, like the end of the Roman Empire. So this is going to be short because I left the power cable downstairs. Do you want to do this? Do you want it like more? And the other thing is, I'll leave you with this. For the first time, I think things are so bad that there's a guy on here, Christopher Armitage, who's talking about soft secession. What I'm afraid is going to happen is these IPOs are going to go off, and then people are going to sit there and go, now what? Okay, these things are 100 times revenue. Like, where are we going with this? And they're going to look at the Nasdaq and go, well, where's the Nasdaq going? Where's the revenue for OpenAI? Where's the visibility of the revenue? Forget earnings. We left earnings go a long time ago. What's the visibility of the earnings? And if and when, my thesis is it's the war. The bloom will be off the rose, and there'll really be no investment thesis left. And then you're left with $40 trillion of what? The only argument for this is inflation. People are just chasing these things because they think they're the only thing that can outrun inflation, even more so than gold, even more so than commodities. In other words, to prepare for retirement, should you get 40 acres and a mule, or should you have the Magnificent Seven? It's not an easy question. We're building the way to invest in the 40 acres and a mule, however. Doesn't even have to be a big part of your portfolio. So partners are invited to Austin late June. Keep you posted on that. What do you think of the Nooner, Limbaugh, Mr. Snerdley, and the Pretenders format? And I think on Sunday we're going to do something about who really runs America. Sort of bring all this stuff down, this like Dr. Heather Lynn, Loosh, and sort of exorcist kind of stuff. And America's really run by witches. So give me some feedback on the DMs. Have a nice week.